Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Lore by Daylight. If you're not familiar with the concept, it's a series where I show a bunch of gameplay clips, I talk about a survivor's or killer's life story, and you basically listen to me yap while I show you the character's gameplay. Today, we're going to be talking about Laurie Strode. A little disclaimer that I sometimes like to throw in, not everything can be 100% accurate, some things are speculations, theories, or just silly little fun facts, and especially in this case of Laurie Strode, the timelines are a little bit scrambled with the movie, so don't take it 100% too seriously. I am not an expert. Laurie was released on October 25th, 2016, along with the Halloween DLC, and left the store on 19th January 2026. Laurie came with 3 unique perks. Decisive Strike, which allows you to stun the killer while getting picked up within 60 seconds after being unhooked. Object of Obsession. If you are the obsession, it reveals the killer's aura to you every 60 seconds, I believe, and you get to see the killer's aura every time the killer sees yours. Last but not least, Sole Survivor. If you're the last survivor standing, you basically get tokens for every single survivor that is dead, and by those tokens, your gate opening speed increases. Laurie is American, and she was born on February 22nd, 1961, to Donald and Edith Myers. Yes, you heard that right, Myers. Laurie was born with the name Cynthia Myers, actually, which makes Laurie Michael Myers' sister. That might be a little bit confusing. Yeah, I get it. When I was reading throughout the lore, it was actually kind of confusing because it came to me that in the second Halloween movie, it was apparently revealed that Laurie is Cynthia Myers, aka Michael's little sister. But in the first movie, she's basically just a random teenage girl. I don't know how it goes in the rest of the movies, but I chose to go with this timeline because it makes the most sense, and it honestly makes it the most interesting. Laurie was alive already when the whole thing with Michael Myers killing Judith Myers happened, his bigger sister, but she was obviously very little, so she couldn't make a whole lot of sense out of it. Michael Myers gets locked up in a mental institution, and later on, Donald and Edith Myers, their parents, die in an accident, apparently. Laurie gets put into foster care where she spends a little bit, but it doesn't take long before she gets adopted by Morgan and Pamela Strode. With this adoption, Laurie gets her name changed to how we know her, Laurie Strode, so she was no longer Cynthia Myers. All her records got sealed for protection, so she couldn't basically interact with Michael in any way. She grows up very introverted. She wants a quiet suburban life, hang out with friends, read some books, kind of just be like a nerdy girl, which unfortunately doesn't really go her way in the future. She eventually finds out that Michael Myers is her brother, and she visits him briefly in the mental institution. This is before Michael breaks out of the asylum. I don't know the details about her visit to Michael, but I'm guessing she just kind of wanted to see who her brother was and probably to recover some of her memories from when she was a little kid. In 1978, which makes Laurie, I think, around 18 years old, Michael breaks out of the institution. Most of her friends get murdered by Michael, she witnesses it all, and she tries to fight back. She attacks Myers with a kitchen knife, and I believe she stabbed his eyes out. She managed to escape Michael's grasp, but that was not the end of their encounters. Michael continues to try and hunt down Laurie for the next 23 years. She basically becomes Michael's obsession, and she keeps fighting him over and over again. If you have watched any of the more recent Halloween movies, you can see that Laurie actually grew into a very strong woman. She has procedures in place against Myers and is ready to fight him at any given moment. She also tries to protect anyone that he tries to kill. It is quite unclear on how Laurie got captured by the entity because there's no specific encounter with the entity where she actually gets taken. If I were to guess, I think that the capture happened between the first encounter that she had with Michael Myers, which is in 1978. A little fun fact about Laurie. Laurie in DBD, How We Know Her, is actually more based on the Halloween comic series instead of the movies themselves, and the comic series take place around Halloween 1 and 2, the movies, of course. There's not much more that I can honestly say about Laurie, because with Laurie and Michael, there is not a set lore timeline in Dead by Daylight per se. The only thing that I have to go off is the movie lore and the comics lore, so this is kind of what I came up with. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, even though it was a little bit short. I enjoyed learning about the Halloween movies a little bit more. I did watch some of them, but I didn't know the exact lore or the exact timeline. For me, it's kind of a movie that I would put in the background and enjoy the vibes of it, right? Like and subscribe if you can, comment if you can, share if you can. It really helps my channel grow, and I will see you guys next time with The Huntress. Bye bye.